everyone. I see sound, so you guys should be okay. It does look a little bit fuzzy. Huh. Yeah, it looks a little bit fuzzy today. I don't know. I'm not sure what's up with that. No, it's a 1080 source. Yeah. So we spent all weekend doing the boys' room. So I had like internet like completely disconnected from the entire house and had to put it all back together. So I got to kind of test how we get that working again. So I have a direct connection in, so I can get the really high speeds up and down. But it's weird. It looks like it's fuzzy. That's not right. I don't know. It's weird. Anyway, I'm sure you guys can see where we're at. Right now, in the last 24 hours, again, kind of a strange week. Obviously, I have not updated for those of you that are subscribers to the newsletter. I have not updated it yet this week. With Easter yesterday and building the boys' room, this was kind of like my holiday weekend. Not that it was holiday, because I basically had to work for 5 days straight. My legs hurt so bad from going up and down stairs. And I have another day of transferring everything from their old room to their new room, which is 2 floors down. So, yeah, lots of fun. As far as kind of what we're seeing right now, we're more or less seeing dollar weakness across the board. You're seeing the euro and pound both up, dollar yen, dollar Swiss, dollar CAD down, Aussie dollar up. Euro pound is I'd say it's a little bit flat, but it's again, it's that little kind of grinding dollar or pound strength that we've seen. It's like I said, it's continuing to progress forward. Again, single country versus multi-nation exposure, I think, is the big piece of that one. 10 o'clock in just about 25 minutes, we do have ISM Services PMI. It should be good. I would expect it. I mean, the manufacturer number blew it out of the water last week. So we should see a pretty good push on that one. Besides that, obviously, it's early in the week. Goldman Sachs says, their dollar call, their dollar short call was wrong. They got out of it. I mean, I don't think you can really listen to anything. If Goldman Sachs tells you what they're doing, is it actually real? Or are they just trying to get a rise out of people? You never really know. Another thing that I think is interesting, again, 2 things. One, the COVID mutation. This article here by Bloomberg.ca talking about this is a laboratory that spotted the first mutation. They're talking about how they're really trying to figure out how to kind of block these and halt future mutations. And again, I think this is something we have to get ready for. The story in the next 7 days is going to be, pretty obvious, right? The story is going to be, oh my God, COVID is spiking after spring break. Yeah, it's going to definitely spike. We will definitely see spikes in it next week. And then it'll be, well, how many of them are the new UK stream and yada, yada, yada. So, just prepare for that. That's probably what's going to put the top on the market is going to be the, COVID for next week. I also think this is a pretty interesting one too, this commencement right here. Right. Talking about how the Bank of Japan is undertaking preparations to begin experiments with the central bank digital currency in early fiscal year 2021. Right. And I think this is good. Right. Now, it says as necessary precautions are now complete. Proof of concept phase 1 begins today. Right. The BOC phase 1, the bank plans to develop a test environment. Right. That conduct experiments on the basic functions that are core to it, as well as payment instrument such as issuance, distribution, and redemption. This phase will be carried out through March 2022 for a duration of 1 year. So this is really, and again, China, although they're a big nation, they're not really considered the forefront of the banking industry. Like no one's going to trust their data. But the BOJ is a very, very important currency. It's basically the counter currency to everything. So having this on a digital format, again, also, I mean, there's arguments made about how, Japan is basically just little America, right? Because, after World War II, they can only have a minor defense force that really it's the relationship, the, alliance with the United States that helps them out. Trust me, we have a great working relationship with Japan, both militarily and economically. And trust me, this is going to be kind of, I wouldn't be surprised if the U.S. has some type of liaison there that is closely watching this one to mirror. Because I'll tell you right now, we will work much more closely with the Bank of Japan than the Bank of China. So, and, like I said, I think this is the first big step. This first 1 year, I think, is going to be very, very telling. And this will basically be the framework for the U.S. version of the central bank digital currency. All right. So this is, what halt mutations? There you go. Yeah, I know, right? Now, Put it this way, Ernest. I don't think COVID is. I mean, it's another SARS virus, right? It's not the end all be all. I don't think this is not the one that's it's not the one that's going to doom the world to destruction. But if they can halt it, they can halt it. Like I said, the flu is you know the flu hits every year, right? And it hasn't. The flu is not the big one, right? Yeah. So I think this is important. Again, like I say, it's just starting. We got about a year until it we really get the data and results from it. They'll know much. This is when we'll publicly know, right? But this is where everything's going, right? This is where everything's going. And actually, there's another one over here. Look, Chilean central bank sees rate. Oh, just rates holding. So, yeah. So, one bit of news today. I would say, I'd expect positivity in the markets today. There's not enough there. Here's kind of NPR talking about another class of graduates. It's like, yeah, whatever. They'll be fine. Okay. So no other real news. The one bit of news tonight, though, I will say that we have the, again, super early in the morning, 12:30 a.m. RBA rate statement, cash rate. Those are all pretty important. Not expected to change. It's going to talk about really what recovery looks like, what they're seeing, how things are progressing along. Again, Australia's done a pretty good job, but that could be a late night trade for some of you guys out there as well. To be able to jump into and take tonight. This is also an interesting, bit of news where it says Greece is reopening shops despite high infection rate. Again, Europe has a lot more contagions, a lot of cross-border travel, that kind of stuff. Yes, Jinjin? She's getting very vocal. Hey, what was that about not letting a crisis go to waste? Oh, what? About not letting a crisis go to waste? What are you talking about, Nero? I've only had half a cup of coffee and my brain is fried. So you'll have to talk in little kid terms. I don't know what you mean. I'm about 10 minutes behind. I could be. I mean, my delay is only 3 seconds, but I don't read it. Oh, the mutations? Yeah. Oh, all right. Yeah. No, I only have a 3-second delay on mine, but I don't read it. It scrolls, and then every so often I'll look up and it's like, oh, what are people talking about? Typically, it's Ernest complaining. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. No. Yeah. That's what it is. It's yeah. Exactly right. All right, but it's funny. Ernest has like a 35-second to 45-second delay, so I know if I pick on him, I can move on, and then he plays catch up. Debbie's actually got a pretty short delay. Hers is pretty quick, but maybe it's because she's East Coast. Yeah, she's an East Coaster, up in that New York, New Jersey, tri-state area. All right, so let's jump into charts. Let's jump across, and I guess we'll start. Let's do this. Just obviously, some volatility. So, start off with the Aussie dollar. I'm on an hourly chart right now. So, this is one of those weekends, too, that it's always kind of funky with. I mean, I guess we can drop back down to third. Whoops. I keep doing that today. My hand is obviously off. Looking from where we go here. First, second, and then fourth is right in here. I mean, this is really, you're really talking about kind of the gap area, and there wasn't really one necessarily. Again, this is ON base data. It did pull back to a zone that we were talking about. So, 3 o'clock this morning, there was a trade set up. It's been it's a decent mover, right? I mean, we're at like 40 pips right now. It was actually in an area, and again, if you're looking for profit targets, you got to be thinking profit is up in this area. And again, you're seeing it halt right now. So, you should be out of this trade right now. I would say it's probably not ready for a reversal. Again, it's hit here 1, 2. This would be 3 with a base. I would expect this to continue to go higher. I would look at 76.57. Again, up in this upper third would be an area where we could look for a turn and a potential flip, and that would make sense, right? UK up, straight up dollar weakness, and then we get the U.S. trader stepping in Monday morning for a potential rollover down. And there's a few things, I would say this is not the cleanest of areas, but it's a decent level. I'd be looking for probably, maybe a touch over here, back down again, is what I'd be looking for. But again, the trade of the morning for this one was really the UK Open sitting right here. It was a prior level. It based back and forth. It was a touch. It was a bounce off point. And again, there was your touch at the UK Open. And again, 40 pips, decent runner. for Monday morning, if you were able to get it, you could be done for the day on that one. But again, I would say expect this to go higher once we get back up into this third of the, top third of the curve. I can delete these right now. Those are removed. Look for a potential rollover at 76.57. As far as the Aussie yen goes, Aussie yen's having a bit more of an issue. Again, we've had this zone, and we've been here a while now, right? We hit it here, we hit it again, hit it. So, it's banging back and forth. I think looking at the 84.48 when we break through the top, that kind of gives us a little bit room to run. And again, there's one little quick spike in here, but we can potentially go from 84.48 all the way up to 84.90. About a 50 pip run to the top side. If we can get a decent punch through, I would kind of probably further refine this down and say, listen, if we're looking for a Harry Potter, maybe kind of maybe something along those lines, and then look to go long from that area. And again, only because it touched here, it touched in at base there. So if we come back up in base in that level, look for some type of a push above, a push back below, right, and then a push higher. Right, up to this, where it should be to there, right, to that area. Something along those lines is what I'd be looking for. And again, it may turn and roll back down again. I would say profit targets to the downside, most likely down here at the 83, 87 area. But right now, we're just kind of stuck in. Again, the yen will start kind of really coming in, right? My delay isn't bad this morning. Yeah. It's funny, like every so often, like it updates on the one, and it like a lot of chat scrolls. I'm like, oh god, are we getting spammed? Like, no. So yeah, I'd be looking for Aussie dollar, and again, it makes sense, right? This one we're talking about it going, and look, you can see it's blowing through. It's really trying to push, and again, as we try to get through here, then maybe the yen gets involved. But worst case scenario, if it does roll and we do push down from this level, again, no harm, no foul. You didn't get into this trade, but I'd be looking for that to do some movement. Euro pound. All right, so Euro pound. We talked about this one last week, coming back down and really trying to grab this level down here at 84.43. It had a hard time. It based, it shot back and forth, it based, it shot back. So I think it was like hit number 7 or 8, finally collapsed. And again, this was a European Open trade. It dropped from the Euro Open at 3 right here. Right, we're talking about 23 pips, and then it retraced back, and it's only 6 pips lower. So not a lot of movement. We still didn't get down, and the reason is we didn't really have a clear area to enter. Remember, this one is again, I'll kind of shrink it back again. We are looking. Ultimately, we are looking for an area to go long. This was a knockout from last week. Let me get rid of that level. Right, but we still have to have a clean entry. And again, you can see how much sideways movement this one has had, at least on the 30-minute. Right, it's just grind down here, just kind of been slow. So. I still think this is a valid trade. Again, we are in the bottom section, so we should be looking to go long. I'm using the hourly levels. Again, we can see that I can remove this now. You can see that the bottom third is really going to be the best area. So, I'm kind of looking at something along these lines right here, right there, and then this one coming up to about 3, right? Something along those lines. But we got some room to run, right? We need some more movement. We got about 45 pips of the downside. Only about 2 hours left in these markets. I feel like it's going to run out of steam pretty quickly, but keep it there. Maybe tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe tomorrow if we can continue to get this pressure to the downside. What I don't want to happen is for it to pull up and really get stuck back here at the 85 mark again. I think the 85 mark is kind of just, it's kind of the indecision mark, right? But I will say if we can get down to the 83s, that's an area where we do tend to see a bit of a reversal and flip. Just like, it used to be 83 to 92 was kind of the range of this one. But yeah, it's kind of a wait and see, unfortunately. Euro yen. Here's a trade we talked about last week. We were looking for 30.50 as our entry. We literally got this spike back and forth on the first, and then it just kind of stabilized here. It did take a decent run to the downside. This is a 30-minute chart. You can see that here's the European Open, right? We kind of went down a little bit, kind of went up a little bit, but it's still kind of stuck in the same wave. So I would say the level up there at 30.50 is still probably valid. Right now, intraday curve-wise, I'd be using probably this because it has not been able to kind of clear that area. So 30.50 and 29.64. And again, this one got front run, so we know there's some buyers down there. There may be a little bit of a hiccup right here as well. This may be something we got to watch out for. But again, I feel like the yen's going to really start taking off on this one in a bit. So, that's what I would use. Again, we are in the middle of the range. You guys can see it here. Like I said, I like the 30.50 because it puts us back up in the third. But these are 2 levels. Again, decent levels. I do like of these 2 levels, I do think I like the 129.64 better. I like how it based here and popped and then was kind of like front run a few times, broke just below, just to kind of just almost graze the surface. And I was like, oh, I tried, and then boom, it burst higher. So I think that's decent. This one I don't like as much. It did run along the top before finally bursting forward. That was like a 8 p.m. kind of. What are you doing, Jinjin? Oh, you want to sit with me? Okay. I'm like, why is she putting all her cards over here? All right, you can come over here. But I do think that's a decent level. But right now, there would be my intraday curve level. Tomorrow, there's not even really. We got that early morning news, but we don't really have. I don't even think. Let me see. Let me go down to a yellow level. This is like a big spring break week. We got all this unemployment over here, and none of it's really supposed to be super crazy. Today, everything's done. Wednesday, there's a little bit. Are you watching Peppa? Oh, you're getting so big. Here, turn this sideways. There we go. All right. Yeah, there's just not a whole lot this week of news. I mean, I guess some of the services, but it's just not a big week for European data. I mean, I guess some of the PPI data here on Thursday. German factory orders will be decent. Yeah, I mean, it's just not a big week for the euro right now. So it's kind of, I don't know. I feel like this will win back and forth again. If I had to pick, I would say it's probably going to have a little bit harder time going up. I expect this one to roll kind of back to the downside, and I think these are two levels for decent longs. Okay, Ginger, what are you doing?
You're the best, Daddy.
No, you're the best.
You're the best, Daddy.
Yes, I know, but you're the best, Ginger. This is something we're working on. It makes mommy mad. I'm like, Ginger, you're the best. She goes, no, you're the best, Daddy. Melissa was not amused. But it's cute, right? So whenever she wants something now, she comes over to me and she's like, you're the best. All right. So here's the European Open, or actually, I guess this is about 6 o'clock this morning. It's a tested level, right? I mean, here's a level we tested last week. Again, there's one test. The 3 o'clock Open was like really close. It was like right here, and it's like, oh, try to go up and then down, and then it's like, that's it. It was off to the races. And again, this is where the dollar weakness set in around 6 o'clock. So, I mean, this is a pretty big runner, right? We're, 56 pips right now. We're approaching the ATR just on this move. We do have a little bit of a level up top, and this is the 30-minute level right here, right? It was a drop, a push, a little bit of a base, and then a punch down. And it's kind of right here is where we had our last test of that level. I will say be a bit cautious because, I mean, we got really a basing level right here, right? We got a basing level here. We got a little bit of a basing level right here. So there's a bunch of stuff we got to chunk through because there was such little movement, right? And that's kind of where we're getting up to. So, I mean, here was the first level, and look, this is what it looked like. Chunk, 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 punch, 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 and then finally was able to blow through. And now where we're at, we got this, we got all this stuff. And again, this is a 30-minute chart, right? Let's drop this down to like a 5-minute, right? You can see that this thing is just rallying, right? Since the Open, it's been going nothing but up, right? Well, we have this services data, right, in 8 minutes. So, it's kind of one of those things. It's like, yeah, this is a very, very quick rally straight up again. If this can continue to punch, and how much more do we need? 11 pips. I mean, can it do 11 pips in 7 minutes? Sure, right? Then we're starting to mess around, and we're sitting in kind of like what? I mean, it's really up to this area, but I mean, there's your last kind of. So is it setting up now for a news reversal for a retracement back to the downside? Right? Is it looking for one of these things? And it could be, right? We got 10 o'clock reversal. We got 10 o'clock news. We got a parabolic, we got a 1 ATR move in 3 hours. So all these things are kind of flipping over, right? What does it? She's killing me with the cute. Yeah, I know. That's so much better than your daughter referring to you as. Yeah, I know. No, she doesn't say that. No. She just says, I'm the best. And mommy takes she's like, I'm the best. It's okay. I got one over on my wife yesterday. So you guys all know how Melissa's pregnant, right? I've said it like a bunch of times. My mom, with my uncle down, it's funny because my uncle, my mom, they're like 20 months apart or whatever. So, brother and sister, they banter back and forth and stuff like that. And, he's more right leaning. She's more left leaning. So you can imagine the conversation going back and forth, right? And my mom made a comment about how she's like, be nice to Melissa. She has pregnancy brain. And I said, wait, I'm going to stop the conversation right here. Okay. Are you saying that Melissa is not as smart as she normally is? I just want to make sure. She's like, and my mom got real quiet. I was like, no, because you're telling me she has pregnancy brain, so I need to cut her some slack. But at the same time, are you saying that she's not as intelligent as she normally is? Because if I said my wife is not as smart, you're gonna back her up. I just want to make sure that you're not trying to play both sides of the equation, that I should make allowances because she has pregnancy brain, but then assume that she's just as smart as she was before. And my mom got real quiet. Yeah, my mom got quiet. I was like, it's one or the other, Mom. You're not going to tell me that I have to be nice because she has pregnancy brain, but the same. So it was a funny thing. Nah, it's not dangerous territory. No, because Melissa's like, I'm just trying to get by at this point. I'm just surviving. No, Melissa's like, I'm tired. She's like, if I eat breakfast, I get tired and I have to nap. So Melissa's like fully on board. But it was my mom trying to basically jump into it. And I had to kind of stick one to her. I was like, I'm telling you, you can't play both sides, Mom. I'm like, this is what leftist people do right now. You want to play both sides of the same argument. Melissa just kind of gave in. Who the heck is calling me? Is that my wife? Hold on. Hold on one sec. I just got to make sure that it was not Melissa. No. All right. So nice little pop. So yeah, we're getting close. We got 5 minutes. Again, this is a nice little rally up in. We'll see if we get some stabilization here. I would say this is decent for a rollover. And remember, with this data, right? ISM manufacturing services, right? You can see right here, the actual is greater than forecast. That's good for currency. So if we come in at like a 60, 61, that should technically be good for the currency. And remember, manufacturing blew it out of the water. If it's good for the currency and brings in dollar strength, that is lining up for a reversal in the euro. Okay. Let me see. I don't have it up right now. Jinjin, I need a keyboard. Can you go right there? Let me check Nadex out real quick. I'm just curious to see what we have up here. I hate that I can't get into those. Let me see. Forex. This is euro dollar. 9 to 11. Trying to see how much premium they have jacked in and stuff right now. Where are we at right now? Indicative is at basically 118. Yeah, there's an interesting one. There's a $15 risk one. It would require this to move. I guess we only got like an hour to go, but there's a 9 to 11. What about $15 worth of risk? It needs to move 14 pips to the downside. So I mean, could this retrace 14 pips? Sure, it could. Let me see knockout wise where we at. I haven't checked these. There's an 1806. I don't think that's high enough. It's really close. Yeah, I feel like that one's going to get chopped. Yeah, it's that was like an 1810, 1815, something like that. I'd like that one. But the 18.6 right before I think is a little bit too close. Check call spread. Euro dollar call spread. Let's just pop the dailies. Wow. Okay. The daily call spreads for this one is not even remotely close. Wow. Okay. 1875, not even close. I'm on the right thing? Yeah, I'm on the right thing. 9 to 11. My God, they're like not even close. All right, so the call spread guy is drunk. Because there is nothing even remotely close. 1750 on the 7:30 to 3 p.m. The daily, the closest is an 1885 or a 1760, right? 40 pips to the downside. Jesus, these are horrible. Yeah, I mean, this is like, I don't know. I may even wait. Whoa, Jijin. Yeah, oopsie, you can't do it like that. There. Yeah. Okay, I can't. Here, I got two. Here's 2 eggs. Here. No, use these 2 eggs, please. Well, then you get that. I can't get it right now. You get it. All right, so Yeah, so obviously the Nadex guy doesn't want people to trade these because, yeah, it's not there. But again, rallying up, pausing right now, I would say that this is probably set up. Let's see. I'm curious to see what we got here. I'm watching the Nadex contract. Let me go back to the binaries real quick. Oh, it doesn't matter. I'm going to have to hit refresh. Wah, wah, wah. Oh, wait. Hold on. Is it printed? Go, go, go. It's saying we have 2 minutes to go, but it does not have 2 minutes. Come on. All right, I expect these to be good. I'm really looking for this one to fall. What was I looking for? I wanted to see the contracts. The 9 to 11, I guess I have to use that one. Oh, there we go. It should be printed now. There we go. Euro dollar. I hate this thing sometimes. Wait, what? Oh, that's the daily. I didn't want the daily. No, no, no. This one. 14, 30. That one's a lot more. That one requires a bunch more. All right, let's see what the number is. Yeah, see, much better. Oof, but the factor orders got crushed. Go factor orders. Wait to screw this one up. 9 to 11. Let's see. Whoops, not that. Hold on, guys. Which one was it? It was that one. They just jacked a lot of premium into it. Yeah. Yeah, there's not many, but we still have them. All right, so we'll see where that one goes. All right. We'll see if that one turns and rolls on us. It should, though. It really needs to go up just a little bit higher. All right, so pound yen. So pound yen we talked about last week coming up to this level at 53.72. It really has done nothing. I mean, this is the 30-minute. You can see it just has really gone sideways. I mean, here's the second. Here's what we dealt with over the weekend. Just not a lot. And again, this is more of a holiday type thing. With the yen being more or less closed down. I mean, I'd say we still got. We can still see some pound grinding, but it's not anything like kind of earth shattering there. It's all right. I mean, I'm still bullish. I think we should, wait for this one to come higher. It'd be pretty risky to kind of grab it in here. So pound yen, it's kind of like where are we at on 28 pips, right? 25 pips in 24 hours. You can see the pound dollar is a much, much bigger mover right now than the pound yen. So, as far as pound dollar goes, again, this was a trade we had talked about last week, the 38.43. You guys can see that, we rolled over, and then here was the weekend right here, right? It hit profit target multiple times. There's absolutely no way you wouldn't have gotten out of this one. So easy 1 to 3 base trade on that one. Again, we stayed in on the top side, so we'll remove it now. With that level broken through, though, and again, you can see we hit it. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4 is what finally crushed through. So let's clean that up real quick. We did have this upper level. Now, this was a kind of a strange gap, and we had 1, 2, 3, and again, I guess this was touch 4, so it ended up going through just fine. The level needs to be really, I mean, there's a hiccup here, right? There's one hiccup there, and then the next hiccup is really, oops, no, not that. On an hourly basis would be here. Let's change this to 3 points. Let's change it to red. Be in that level right there. So make sure the top is on that one still. Yeah. Okay, top is good. So that's where we're at. We got a small level coming in right here. And again, a decent base, very, very strong push out of it. And this was at 8:30 in the morning. So again, a US-based kind of a level. But with a level on top of a level, a lot of times we want to go a little bit more conservative. It's only 10 pips away. So it's kind of one of those like, yeah, we're really, really close. And again, it's matching up, right? We just had very, very strong US-based data. Right now, the market has not moved at all from it. It's basically stopped and stabilized. So I'm curious to see if this will push up enough, and if this will be a 10:30 reversal, right? It should be slowing down. It should be dollar strength, but all we're seeing is kind of a halt right before kind of a reversal. So, it's small. This level is what 9 pips, right? I mean, 9 pips is not a very big level whatsoever. Oops, it does not want to move. There we go. There. Oh, didn't. Don't hit the keyboard. Oh, she deleted it. Jinjin, you're killing me. There and there. Now, as far as the setup goes, I think it's a decent setup. Obviously, for profit taking, you need to make sure that we are out before we get to this level really right there, right? You need to make sure that you're, I mean, there's the wick behind, but the body's there and probably there, right? We want to make sure that we're out before this level. There's our 1 to 3. So it's a decent setup on that one. And this would be a short off of really this level here. Right there, right? Now, wait a second. Did she delete the curve too? Let me go back up. Let's put... we'll do that right there. Yeah, it's fine. Whoops. One or two. Oh. It's Monday. I keep hitting the lock. I want to hit the lock function, not the trash function. I keep hitting it. So, yeah, so that one's set up in a decent spot. And like I said, this was a, here's the London Open. Right here. Came back down. Retested and went crazy. Let's see, this one has actually moved about 80. So yeah, we're close to an ATR on this one too. So decent time for reversal. Dollar CAD. All right, so Dollar CAD is crashing. So here's a level we had last week. We talked about getting in, and it really just based back and forth and chopped. Again, typically a telltale sign. Here was the original entry. Here, down, came back up, based. Got again. This was the chop on the second. So we can remove that. And again, that would have been this level. Let's pull this level out. Again, here was the Harry Potter lower for that one. As you can see, we came back up, missed it here. Right, so we did not get it here, but we did tag it here at the, and again, it's a little bit early, right? This is about the 2 o'clock window. We did tag that zone, and again, if I bring this across, you guys can see there's the zone. From the top of this body, this one held, hit number 3, again, has dropped all the way back down again. So at this point, I would say we are starting to look for levels of buying, right? You can see we have a dark level much, much lower. I think we drew this originally on the hourly. Yeah, it's an hourly level. You can see there's going to be a little bit of a hiccup right here. And again, that's what we touched, and then it kind of chopped back and forth. There's a little bit of a hiccup coming in right here, right? Which we're about to get into now as well. And again, it's an okay. I mean, it's an hour level. It's all right. But I think if we can get a little bit lower down here where, again, this was just a pullback, this is actually a kind of a reversal back up again. We know we have more buyers in there. So I would say right now, and I guess there's this way if you want to play it as well, because we know we got, a bunch of spikes below there, is let's change this to a red. And again, take a continuation pattern back to the downside. You guys could take something along these lines. The question is it going to make it? Survey says yes. There's your 1 to 3. All right, so if we can go down, we just got a bunch of wicks in here. We know we have buyers stepping at 124.80 to 124.62. Look for this to come down, and if we do get a base sideways, then we're looking for this to collapse, right? If we see basing and stabilization in there, then look for a punch lower. And profit target on that one to the bottom side would be sitting up. Jinjin! She did it again. Did she delete everything? No. Stop hitting the buttons, please. You're going to have to get down. Would be down there at 124.86. Okay. Let's put this here. Something along those lines. Okay. All right. Dollar Swiss. As you can see, Dollar Swiss is, again, collapsing. Dollar weakness. We saw the punch here. This is what we talked about last week. As you can see, we touched, went back and forth. It maintained. It did not break the top. There's the top of that area, right? If I extend the orange line, I'll do it from the bottom so you can see. Right there. There's your European Open, and there's your collapse, right? And 68 pips, which is well beyond its ATR. And on a 30-minute, if we drop down here, you can see that there was a new level put in. So had you not been using this old level that we had talked about before, running up to this level, the old one, you could have also drawn this off of there and taken the same trade. So either one of those have worked. And here's the European Open. Actually, I guess the European Open was here, right? We established it here. Pulled down, based, pulled back up, confirmed the 6, and then the absolute collapse. I would say right now, I mean, I would just stay. I would stay bullish, or I'd stay bearish this position. I think we're safe in this one at least until down to this level. Right there, right? We got another 20 pips to go on this one. But I would say, and you guys can see we're in the blue area, so it's kind of like we're in that no man's land. Two things that I would look for. I would say watch out for kind of this level right here. Right? Make that blue. But I would say there's a couple things that can happen here. One, we could take a bounce from here. And again, we're getting close to that. It's 10-10 right now, right? So it is an opportunity there. I'd also say after that, we could look for a punch down to this direction. So the big question is, do we take a bounce? What happens at this level right here? Right? Profit targets down to here. Profit targets up would be back to this level. Right? So really either of those two is what we'd be looking for. Okay? So a lot of interesting things on the Swiss. I hate to say that, but it's Monday. Right? I'm like, oh God, there's great technical chart setups on the Swiss. And it could literally just flat like this for the rest of the week, and then I'll be angry. But I really like this one. I think this is a decent base. It held and then finally provided the pop. But below that, there's a little bit of a hiccup here, but not much below, not much down to the 82, 89. We're talking about what, 50, 60 pips to the downside. Decent runner. Parabolic move down from 6 a.m. So again, we're looking for some type of a bounce. Again, if we pop up and base, again, got to look for the full retracement back to the top side. I mean, it's parabolic move there, right? So I think that's decent. Looking at the yen. So the yen, the yen was able to break through this level, right? We had talked about this being our kind of top and bottom of a curve. And again, this was a tested level. It wasn't even phased by this tested level. So, that's definitely something to let us know that, hey, listen, we can erase those. Those are wiped out. I still think we keep this level up top. And we were looking to get short this position, but we were looking for it to go a bit higher to 111. 111.19, we didn't get there. It decided to kind of careen around. So right now, there's a bit of a level there. These are ones we were looking for the rally on the top side. Let's see on a 30-minute if it looks any better. It's okay. We got a little level here. You could say, no, don't want to create an order. I don't know. I would say this would be a profit-taking area. I don't know if that I'd be willing to kind of be, taking a bounce off of it. It is approaching the 10:30 time frame, but I just feel like at this point the yen is really starting to get involved. And again, we have continued dollar weakness, which is crazy with that number. But I do feel we are approaching the reversal time that we're going to have that profit-taking kind of step into the market. So I wish there was a better pop in here, but there's really not until we get down to this level. Can I see that on an hour? Let me see. It's all right. Yeah, I guess I can. Yeah, this one is so far down there. There's your stabilization. Let's go to daily. Lock that bad boy down. All right, go back down to the hourly. So this is what we got. And again, it's kind of like, oh, we're going long in the top. It's like, nah, not really. And there may be an area sitting right there. There's one test, but I don't know. I really hate trying to go long on this one at this point. You're starting to see it flip now. Yeah, it's kind of setting up for a 10:30 reversal. I don't know. If we get a decent, if we hit and stabilize and then pull back, right? If we can go into the zone into there, then maybe we take this one back up. Right? Into the zone proves that it holds. pops up, and then again, what gives us a risk? What's the amount in this one? It's only 7.5. I mean, it's not very big. And like I said, right now from here up, how much room do we got? Yeah, 50 pips at the top side. I would make sure that we were out. Really, I mean, probably right in there. So last time we saw some basing. It had issues here, but not much. I would say, that in that range. So we got, let's see. Yeah, it's 48 pips. So that's a nice runner back up to the top side, right? Here's that roll happening. It's going a little bit early. We'll see if this actually stabilizes and holds. All right, let's jump across and let's go to the indices. I mean, basically up, and away. I don't know if you guys heard the Nadex broadcast this morning. Here's that European Open right here. And I don't think you can stop this one. I mean, I told you guys last week we were going to get to 4,000. We hit 4,000. Now we're up at 4,050, right? Yeah, we hit 4,051. I really don't think. I mean, until we get a top put on this one, I don't have any reason to say, hey, short, go short. I think next week is when the shorting opportunities will come in. The question is, can we get a decent top and a rollover? I mean, yeah, you could say, hey, wait, shouldn't this retrace? I guess, but I mean, all the data is great, right? Non-farm is great. Services was great. Manufacturing was great. Unemployment's down. There's no reason for it to go lower. That we got like trillions of dollars being spent right now. So, yeah, I mean, for a political party that hates Wall Street, I mean, they're really helping Wall Street go much, much higher, right? I don't know. Maybe this is like part of the deal they cut behind the scenes or something. Like, yeah, Wall Street is bad, but we will let you guys make billions of dollars before we crash it. I don't know, but yeah, I just don't know how you'd be able to, all of a sudden get short. If we drop it down to a 15-minute, we can try to find small opportunities in here. This is the last level that we have is tested. We had one here. And again, if we can find something like this, a level of basing and a pullback, again, that's the basing we need. Right now, we're not getting the basing that we need, though. It doesn't say party benefit a lot. Yeah. There's one party that blames the other party that says they're owned by Wall Street. Right. But at the same time, the party that hates Wall Street is also taking enormous bets and making enormous amounts of money on Wall Street, even though the other side is the one that supposedly supports Wall Street. Right. Super low interest rates for a long time, stimulus everywhere, money for everybody, pretending that the deficit doesn't exist. I mean, that's,
Yes.
no, Daddy needs this side. You can have Daddy's ear in 10 minutes. How about that? You want this ear? Yes. So funny. The girl wakes up and then she's like, no, I'm still tired. What are you doing? What? Can you say hi to everybody? No. Are you going to be shy? She's going to be shy. What are you watching? Can you tell everybody Happy Easter? No, say it right here. Talking to this. Right here. Say Happy Easter.
Sure.
Yeah. Sometimes she listens. Yeah, I know, right? But see, here you go, guys. Look, I mean, I just don't feel like there's anything else but to tell you guys besides go long. It's just, it is what it is in the S. Now the NQ is approaching levels. All right, I don't know if you guys saw this in the next presentation. Here's the basing. We expected this level to break. We talked about it last week, coming back through and testing a level, and that's really what we're looking for. Let's see. Go back up to the 30. Go back up to the hourly. Okay. Really trying to find like an established level of risk here. There's the third. There's the hourly. Let me see on 30. Can I shrink it? Oh, God bless you. No, that's where your level would need to be. So, I mean, if you're looking to go long this one, which I think is valid, and again, we may go all the way up to the 13,530 level, right? But I mean, here's your basing in there. You're typically looking for, somewhat of a Harry Potter kind of pullback. We don't necessarily have it. It's just going. But if we do get a base, that could be the launching point, right? To go from, maybe if it comes back down, up. But I do think around the 13,530 level, it is a level that has been tested in the past, right? It is sitting right here, right? And again, a little bit of a pullback, a punch down, and then again, we grab that basing level inside of that level. And it had a strong push off. And again, that was a 2 o'clock in the afternoon push on the 22nd. So, am I willing to just jump into this one and be like, yep, go short? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But I do think that if there's going to be a reversal, it's going to come into there. So the way to look for this one is the same thing. Look for this one to start basing. And if we can get some type of a top, something in here that looks like it's going to be a top, that will give us our established level on this one. But this is the only of the three that I'd be willing to short. I don't really. ES and YM, I just don't really have any desire to short it. But I don't think this one's going to pull back. I think it's just going to continue pushing forward. But again, look for a base and maybe even end of the day kind of sell, right? If you have that profit taking today, we may get a little bit of a pullback. It's going to be somewhere around in this area. And it's only because it's not an all-time highs. YM, yeah, look, see, I mean, dropping into a 15. I just, it's not even giving us the opportunity to get in, right? This sucker whipped all the way up to what? 13,375. I'm sorry, not 13. 33,375. And now you're having a little bit of like, it's probably some profit taking from news, but it's trying, right? It's trying. And again, this would not be a top area. So, I'm going to guess we can mark another one here for a potential long, maybe for something else, right? I mean, maybe that's where we get the next hit off of it. Although this is probably the news chopping back and forth. But yeah, you're going to have some profit taking now. We're getting to that 10, 10:30. Let me see. Is there any news that has been released? It hit an all-time high. U.S. factory orders fall in February for first time in 10 months. Orders are up 2.7 in July. Durable goods fell, revised. These are the small ones. Excluding aircraft. Yeah. They're looking at some of this. Yeah, they're looking at this one. All right. But again, much better than expected. But see, look, this is the news. Look at this. Factory orders, huh? And it's like, no, the services is good, right? Services is good. And they already expected this to be down. It's whatever. It's like, come on. So, yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't. Don't be surprised if we hit like 33,400 today. I can see this being our next big area. Yeah, once we get through this chop. Oil. So oil is just been going crazy, right? Here's your gap. I mean, oil just collapsed through. Again, we expected this one to break. We had our 3 touches. It was not a Harry Potter candidate because we didn't have enough room to run up to that 61.72. 61.71. It went to 61.71, so I missed it by just a little. Actually, I did have it marked here, but I missed the actual zone by a couple cents. But there's the 61.71. So I missed it. I ended up hitting right to that, and it rolled, right? That's where it ended the week. Again, parabolic move, looking for the retracement. Came back down early morning. Again, this is where we actually collapsed into this at 9 o'clock for the Natix presentation, and ended up rallying back up again. But it's just punching through. I think the next big question is going to be whether we can break through the 59 level. This destruction, too, all has to do with OPEC basically saying we're going to slowly start unraveling the production cuts, which, again, market's coming back, but it's not back yet. And them saying, yep, we're going to do it. It's kind of like, are they prematurely doing it? But with prices up, above 60 or around $60, they're like, heck, yeah, we were putting the production cuts in when it was like 40, right? So yeah, 60, that's fine. If worst case it goes to 55, but we're going to be making, producing, hundreds of thousands of more barrels, right? That we're making money off of. So, they're looking at it on that stand. Looking at this level, I would say that this is probably more set up for, some type of a short position. I'd be looking to go short oil today. Even though the data was good, right? There's your 1 to 3. It's sitting right at the level where people came in. The last real touchdown you can see is right at the 3 to 1 mark, right? But again, 1, 2, 3, the odds are that it has the ability to go a bit lower, maybe even down here to the 57.9, 59, as kind of the downward side target, right? As far as where shorts would go. So, we can, we're starting to stabilize in here now. We push down and get a little kickback. I don't know. Dare I say we could get down to 57, 59 oil? That would be what, $2 drop to the downside? Could we get there by Wednesday? Could, maybe, right? Like I said, Suez Canal, basically open, greed, yada, 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 OPEC. Sure. Yeah, I think it could drop. But yeah, look for a short later on today on this one. Gold, right? Gold, I would say, although it down, I mean, it basically came up a gap and it just dropped and it's not moving. I wouldn't say there's a whole lot here for gold. I'm kind of dealing with this right now, right? We came up and we ended right in that level and then we gapped up, right? And then we just kind of pushed back down again, and we're in the same spot. I would say gold's kind of lost right now. I think 1742, I think, is really the first time I'd be really willing to look at much in here, right? It's just, I mean, it's just really, it's an ugly chart. I don't really, last week we had plenty of stuff to trade with gold, and, you know, I would say this is probably, excuse me, there's a decent level right there. I'll extend this one across. That's a level that I had some issues with as well. And again, you can see sucked in, suck in, suck in, suck in, suck in, and we're just stuck, right? We're in that same level. So I can delete this. We know why that zone existed. Yeah, gold is just ugly. So we got a gap here, gap back down. Yeah, just not a fan of gold right now. Silver, this is what we're looking for. We're looking for a push up. It didn't quite make it up. It did push back down again. I don't need this zone. That's an old zone. Same thing. We talked about a level here, touched, came up, stabilized, stopped, gap to it, went down, came right back up. We're in the same spot. So I think I'll put this back over here. We'll change this to red. 25.22 is kind of the next level that we're looking for, really a drop. Downside, or, the other direction, I would say that, there's probably something small in here if we can get that low. Right? Let's put this to green. Jinjin, what are you doing? Something along those lines. Let me see on a 4-hour. I'm trying to see which one do I want to use. I think I'm going to put it here. I got the lock that time. You can see we're sitting right there. And that is this. Oh, what are you doing? I guess I don't need that now. All right, so that's what we're dealing with. We're stuck in this area of interest. And again, I think 24.30 is a decent level to buy. Tested over here in the bottom third. It's not bad. 25.22, also not horrible. It's tested. I mean, it was not the cleanest of those levels. But after that, we got to really start kind of probably the 26.20-ish level. It's probably the next one. This is a little hit. I wouldn't worry about either of those two right now. So, yeah, that's where we're at with silver. All right, so that's all of them. A couple minutes early today. It's okay. I gotta head downstairs and feed the girl real quick. Let's go ahead and do the drawing. Wanted to see IFM. Yeah. I'm trying to see if there's any more news popping out. All-time highs. Is inflation making a comeback? Answer is no, not yet. You know what's funny about this too? So 7 hours ago, after this, it's like, oh, Goldman acts as its short dollar call, right? It's short dollar, right? But what has the dollar done today? It's head straight down, right? So it's funny how these stories just happen to mirror what the dollar is going to do for the day, right? We were short the greenback, and then yet it's done nothing but go down, all the way to the moon. Yeah, I mean the pound is stronger. Look, pound yen flat, euro pound flat, pound dollar to the moon. And again, dollar CAD down 60 is a big deal. That one is definitely starting to cruise. What's it? Dollar CAD. Yeah, there's your level right now. Okay, and again, we've now entered the level. Look for a base sideways, and again, a break of 25.06. Look for this to come down to 25.86. Right? Again, small trade, but I think we can go much farther down. All right, let's go ahead and do the drawing for today. We got 9 in. All right, I'll give you guys about another 30 seconds. Attention, what do we want for breakfast? What should we have for breakfast? Do you want breakfast pizza or do you want eggs? She's absorbed into her tablet. She's not going to answer me. Okay, I'll give 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. There we go. All right. Looks like we have an equal playing ground. Everybody is in for 1 today. Let's see who gets our Pip Chips winner of the day. Winner is Morena starts off the week. Ernest was actually on a two winner too. Right? Ernest had 2 in a row and Morena stopped them. But look at that. Coming back in again. I'm telling you, she's she's like the tortoise that wins the race, right? Let's go back over here. Add her 25. Like, she is chomping on Will's heels again. Look at that. Within 100 pip chips between 1 and 2. Right? The fix is in for the week. The fix is, she's back in. Yeah, I'm telling you, she sneaks in. You're like, it's like no Ernest, no Morena. Oh, you guys can't see this. Whoop, my bad. Right there. Sorry. I was counting it down. I forgot I hadn't brought it in. There was the thing. Just to prove that it's not fixed, that I'm not just giving stuff out. Right there. You guys can see it. Just making sure I hadn't drug it into the border. So, all right. So that's it for today. I mean, like I said, the biggest thing I'd watch out for is tomorrow morning. Ooh, let me get rid of all this. You don't need all that junk in there. This RBA statement should be interesting. We could see some movement in this one, particularly if it's negative. Whoops. I didn't need that. Particularly if it's negative at all, right? If they talk about, recovery is taking longer than expected or anything that's negative for the Aussie. Again, the Aussie's up 56 points right now. We could definitely be looking for, somewhat of a reversal, right? We've pushed up. Now we're at that level, the 76.50. So, we'll see where we're at in either of these two. We've had such movement. We've seen basing here, so we know this is going to be an area of interest between 76.33 and 76.37, that little 4 pip area. And again, we're not taking 4 pip entries on 30 minutes, but we know that there's something going on at that level. So again, that could be a rollover point. That could be a basing for a much, much lower push. Again, watch a lot of these levels, but 76.57, 76.78 would be the two that I'm watching out for Aussie News late tonight, but we'll see where we are. All right, with that said, I'm going to go eat. I'll catch you guys later. You guys take care. Have a good day.